Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you, everyone, for joining me here today. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. The next round of stimulus payments could be larger than $1,400. The House of Representatives is getting ready for a key vote on the new infrastructure and spending bill. This coming Friday, I will be giving away two $75 Walmart gift cards. For more details on how to enter the giveaway, please make sure you watch until the end of this video.
Thank you, Governor. And first, my condolences and heart and prayers to all of the families who have lost loved ones. Imagine the horror of you're sitting in your own basement apartment and the water just floods in all of a sudden with no notice, and you struggle to get out, but you can't. It's an awful, awful situation, and our hearts go out to them. I too want to thank all of our New Yorkers at the city and the state level, as well as the other localities, who always go all out. Unfortunately, we in New York have experienced too many emergencies in the last decade.
A Florida judge denied a motion to temporarily reinstate the extra $300 in weekly unemployment benefits that were terminated prematurely over this summer. The loss comes as the federal unemployment programs are set to expire on September 6th. Workers in the state of Florida allege that the cancellation of the additional federal benefits went against state law, but the court ruled this week that the governor was within his authority to make that decision. In all, 26 U.S. states have cut off some or all of the crisis-era unemployment aid before the federal expiration date to combat rising concerns over labor shortages. In response, workers in 15 states have filed lawsuits over the premature end to those benefits, with New Hampshire the latest this week. The New Hampshire lawsuit alleges that the state's Department of Employment Security did not have the discretion to opt out of the federal programs early. So far, workers who filed lawsuits in their states have found mixed success. Lawsuits in Arkansas, Maryland, and Oklahoma have been successful and benefits have been reinstated, and in some cases, only temporarily. But the cases in the states of Indiana, Louisiana, West Virginia, Ohio, and now Florida have been denied by judges. So everyone, what are your thoughts on this? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below.
And the one thing we've learned through these emergencies is how strong New Yorkers are and how much our public servants want to go all out and risk their lives to preserve other people's lives. And we thank them. I'm going to make 2 points here. Number one, we will do everything we can to get all of the federal aid that's needed. We did this after Sandy. We've done it after many other storms upstate. The governor knows when we worked together on these storms upstate. And I spoke this morning to FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell. The good news here is, you know what her job was before she was FEMA Administrator. Amen. She was the city's OEM commissioner. So she knows New York well. We will fight and make New York declared a disaster area. Spoken to the White House as well. And that will mean money for homeowners and individuals, money for small businesses that may have been lost, and money to our city, state, and other local governments for the amount of money that they've had to lay out to deal with this crisis. And I will make sure, as I have in the past, that no stone is left unturned, and all of the federal largesse. In the federal government, we know when a disaster hits one area, the whole country comes together and helps. And that's what we're going to ask here for New York, just as we are helping in California with the fires and out west with the fires, etc. And that relates to my second and final point. Global warming is upon us. When you get 2 record rainfalls in a week, it's not just coincidence. When you get all the changes that we have seen in weather, that's not a coincidence. Global warming is upon us, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse unless we do something about it. And that's why it's so imperative to pass.
As the House prepares to vote to advance a bipartisan infrastructure bill and broader budget blueprint, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi remains locked in a standoff with a group of moderate Democrats who are now pushing for the chamber to swiftly take up the targeted infrastructure proposal. The House is pausing its August recess to return to Washington for a procedural vote to move forward the infrastructure plan and budget resolution, passage of which will allow Congress to begin the process to take up a sweeping $3.5 trillion spending package. Both of these measures were approved by the Senate earlier this month. A group of 9 moderate Democrats has threatened to withhold support for the budget blueprint, which the House is expected to move to this week, unless Nancy Pelosi holds a vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill first. The central issue for the group is the timing of the vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which may not come for weeks, as Nancy Pelosi has repeatedly pledged not to bring the targeted measure to the House floor until the Senate clears a broader spending package. President Biden and Democratic leaders are using a 2-track strategy to move the bipartisan infrastructure bill and broader $3.5 trillion plan through Congress and put their passage on their firmer footing, given that Democrats hold slim majorities in both chambers. But the moderate Democrats have asserted that any delay in approving the infrastructure bill and sending it to Biden's desk harms American communities. They argue that progressive Democrats are holding the infrastructure bill hostage as lawmakers craft the $3.5 trillion package, which will include Democrats' plans for healthcare, childcare, education, and the environment. Many progressive House Democrats have said they will not support the bipartisan infrastructure bill until the larger budget measure. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki told reporters on Monday that Biden supports Pelosi's path forward and called the debate within the House Democratic caucus on how to proceed healthy. President Biden spoke with Nancy Pelosi, Democratic leaders, and congressional committee chairs in recent days, Psaki said, and White House aides have been in contact with a range of members within the Democratic caucus. Both the bipartisan infrastructure bill, negotiated by a group of senators, and the White House, and the $3.5 trillion package make up the key aspects of President Biden's domestic policy agenda. The infrastructure bill, which includes $550 billion in new spending to revitalize the nation's roads, railways, ports, and bridges, has been touted as the largest investment in the nation's physical infrastructure in decades. Meanwhile, the larger $3.5 trillion package is still being drafted by congressional committees and will include Democrats' priorities on social programs that were left out of the infrastructure bill. So now Democrats are using a process called budget reconciliation process to pass a larger plan, which will allow it to clear the Senate without any Republican support. But its passage in the upper chamber is not a sure thing, as 2 key moderate senators, Democrats Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona, have objected to the $3.5 trillion price tag. So everyone, that's the end of the video for this morning. Thank you so much for joining me here. I greatly appreciate it. Remember that this coming Friday, I will be giving away 2 $75 Walmart gift cards. Please enter my giveaway by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and also commenting below the keyword of the day. Please know that there will be a keyword in each video for a total of 17 keywords for this week. And whomever has the most correct keywords entered by this Friday's video will be automatically placed in the giveaway. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a very blessed Thursday.